Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, the 3rd of April 2026. We're all gathering this time to do this morning chanting to show our respect and homage to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion towards all beings. And we are very fortunate to be born as a humans during his dispensation, still alive, and it is fortunate that we have this opportunity to learn the Dhamma and a practice to find the right path and freedom. Today again I will be continuing from what we have been talking about. So previous morning and evening chantings, I have been explaining about the triple gem, and as a good Buddhist, one should have believe in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, karma, and different world systems. So these are the five main things that one should have belief in. The one is Buddha, second is Dhamma, third is Sangha, fourth is the karma, and fifth is the different world system. Now today, the benefit of reverence to the triple gem. That the term, as we know, Ratana can mean a worldly treasure, such as the diamonds and jade and pearl and the ruby, emerald and so on, and other different types of the gems. That's called a Ratana. But they are all they're mundane and worldly, pertaining to the common use for general public. And however, even though that because of their scarcity and glamorous and also the pricey, they fetch they become very precious and very highly priced. They give a comfortable life and satisfaction, and this is a material gain. And this gives this comfortable and satisfactory life, and also the current or even all the human civilizations, it has been used as to demonstrate their status and wealth and so on. That's why it is known as the Ratana in Pali. Now, more than that, if a person who has a faith and a belief, so that the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha will be more valuable and harder to more valuable and also harder to get. Yeah. They give a noble satisfaction, purity, and dignity to all the followers who understand their intrinsic beauty, power, and glory. So it's not the material possessions, but it's inner possession that really gives that. So in this sense, the triple gem are collectively termed Ratana in Buddhism, which means that a true and a lasting a jewel for right thinking, for a person who has a right thinking. So that's why a person who has the Ratana as in their hearts and minds is not the simple thing. So as a result, when we look at the Buddha, then the question may come that why we worship the Buddha. So the unique value of the Buddha imply the essence of the both mundane and supermundane Dhamma possessed by him. The Buddha represents the Dhamma virtue in his great and noble mind. Among the 9 qualities that we have discussed, we see that Buddha was one who is really a great person, and it's really valuable. So when we look at the 9 virtues, let's say the Arahant, Samma Sambuddho, Vichacharana Sampanno, and Lokavidu, these are the 4 initial qualities or virtues which nobly signifies the 4 basics of the nature of the Buddha and the mental purity of the Buddha. They also reveal that the Buddha has totally eradicated all types of defilements, and also he is the one who knows things should be known. With that attainment, he also attained all the noble and qualities that shows the Buddha as the greatest world being who knows the Kama Loka and the Sankhara Loka, or the human worlds and the conditioned world. And then further, his qualities, Sugato, Buddho, Sugata and Buddha and Bhagava, these are another virtues that reveals the nature and the characteristics of the Buddha. Here it is important to know that all Buddhas teach the way to the Nibbana. So the Buddha has gone to Nibbana. He realized the Nibbana by means of his insight into the Four Noble Truths. According to the scripture, we come across. We are told that the Buddha has 6 great powers. That is the reason why he is known as the Bhagava, or omniscient being, or worthy of worship. So number 1 is called Isariya. Isariya actually means the powerful God, or a supremacy over all types of objects with a pure and a concentrated mind. And the second is the Dhamma. So he had attained the Dhamma, which is the Four Noble Truths, with the four paths and 4 fruitions, overcoming all the kilesas, roots and branches. And then Yesa means the always famous, and fame spread far and wide. So his fame is not like incense smell that travels only or the wind's direction, but the Buddha's fame were quite extensive and in every directions, which we can see even after 2,500 years later, his fame is still continue. That's why it's called a Yesa. And a Siddhi, he has a glory and honor due to the 10 great perfections. So Siddhi is 10 perfections are giving a dana and generosity, sila, perfection of a sila, and so on. And as a result of that, is glorious. And a karma, he has fulfilled his noble wishes for enlightenment. And the last one, payata, which is he always has a great effort to fulfill all the paramitas in order to be the Buddha. We can see that ever since he made the a vow to be the Buddha in the future in front of the Buddha Dipankara by offering himself to him. Ever since then, four uncountable kalpas and 100,000 four uncountable and 100,000 kalpas, he had put his effort to be enlightened, and that effort simply um, to help beings to understand the Four Noble Truths. Hadn't he done that, he would not have attained enlightenment. But during the Dipankara Buddha, he would have got enlightened and freed himself. But his kindness and compassion, he was happy to continue to be the beings in the samsara, to find the way to liberate many beings to come. And with that, the following virtue of the Buddha called Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati and Sattha Deva Manosanam. These two virtues means that he had done countless services for all beings in the past lives as well as in the current life. He is serving for the welfare and the liberation of all by his teachings. He subdued wild subdued arrogant heavenly beings and Brahmas, and also arrogant and cruel humans, cruel human beings to follow the path of the Dhamma. So there are stories that the arrogant celestial beings who had an ego and conceit, thinking that they are the highest and they are the greatest. So then the Buddha gave teachings to them to release their ego and conceit. Similarly, there are many stories of people, those who were very cruel and arrogant. They were also tamed by the Buddha. So, so he is the teacher of devas, or the heavenly beings, and also humans in all walks of life. So during the time of the Buddha, there were 4 different types of caste system, or 5 in a way. Outcasts, including outcasts, would be 5. So whichever whoever came from whichever caste system, the Buddha allowed them to be the disciples or to learn the Dhamma and tame them. And then there are another 2 virtues that's called Sugata and Bhagava. These are the qualities to teach all the humans to know, and all beings to know that he speaks only the truth, choosing only beneficial ones for all. His method of teaching is excellent and unique, with infinite compassion and wisdom. He teaches all sentient beings to the universal truth. He is not in a close-fisted about the doctrine to all, so he helps people without discrimination. So in other word, the Buddhas and the 9 qualities that we have studied point out many significant facts, such as his mental purity, omniscient, infinite compassion, and a wisdom for the sake of the all beings. He is also delivered from the the birth and decay, illness and a death that we have to go through, and how to overcome from there. And so he teaches the Dhamma without making any distinction to any race, religion, status, positions, and a caste or a color. So he is the one who showed the path to liberation. Here we can see we can see that the Buddha was telling the truth, and then he never closed his fist in any teaching. So he allowed the followers to question his teachings, have a doubt in his teachings, and investigate on that. Even like when Buddha was about to pass away, in his last breath, he invited all the monks, saying that if you have any doubts on the Dhamma, if you have any doubts in the Vinaya, you can ask now. No one asked. Like that. So his teachings are well opened, and everybody can investigate. And further on, if we look at the Buddha's life history, we see that he had tamed so many cruel and arrogant people, rude people, by his noble example, and teaching the subtle Dhamma. He always has compassion even for his own opponents, disputants, and other heretics. Which there are many stories of his opponents causing troubles, but he always had the compassion and win their hearts eventually. He also has fulfilled all the parameters, which is essential for it. So in another word, we can see that he has overcome the danger of the birth, disease, and death, and he is openly and clearly teaches the way to the Nibbana, which is the greatest happiness. With his unique compassion, he helps everyone to follow this noble footsteps, so that people, whoever wants to be freed, they can come and study and get freedom from it. So Buddha teaches everyone, all beings, deserves to get the purity and salvation. It's not just for the particular race or a particular group. Like there are many different religions that we can find. Last night we were talking about different religions around in the world. How many religions we discussed last night, Sujato? Six. What are they? Hinduism, Judaism, Muslim, Buddhism, Christianity, and Sikhism. Yeah. So among these at least six main religion, world religion, so-called, we see that in Hinduism, you will be liberated. You must be a Hindu. In Christianity, you must be a Christian. In Islam, you must be a Muslim. In Judaism, you must be a Jew. And in Sikhism, you must be a Sikh. Only then you will be purified or attain the salvation. Whereas in Buddhism, Buddha doesn't say that you must become a Buddhist to be pure and attain the salvation. The Buddha said that if you practice properly, according to the Eightfold Noble Path, then you can find the purity and salvation. So that's why the practice of a meditation has become worldwide. and people are practicing meditation despite they become a Buddhist. And that's simply because the more we practice, we see it's a benefit, the benefit is again here and now, within now, here and now. We can see the benefit of it. So that's why with the Buddha's compassion, he had infinite patience with everyone, everyone. And his Dhamma, the way he taught, he didn't teach only one way. He taught many various ways to fit into different levels of a people. At least, there are 4 different types of a people. What are they, Sujanto?
One who needs a lot of explaining and
Yeah.
will take in barely anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then one who still needs some explaining,
Yeah.
a lot of explaining, but less than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Possibility of understanding.
Then you have someone who needs some explaining,
And then
and then the other person is just a little bit.
yeah, it's like waiting for the sunlight to blossom. Yeah. So at least there are 4 different types of people there. So with that 4 different types of people, Buddha used different tactics to explain so that they understand the Dhamma. So that's why Dhamma is both in a general knowledge as well as in a very sophisticated knowledge. So that's why it's so vast. And in terms of the welfare and final liberation, so the Buddha had they taught this all. So that's why who devote themselves to the Buddha, then one has to once we have taken the Buddha and seeing the benefit of paying respect to the Buddha, then we have to, as a Buddhist, we have to show certain certain expressions or things that let's say we have to devout towards him, devoted towards him, not because he punished us or not because of the fear, but having seen the 9 qualities on the Buddha, and then having a deep confidence and a faith in the Buddha. And not only faith and confidence is enough, but we have to develop the mindfulness and sampajanya, which is the mindfulness and clear comprehension and insight. Not only the insight enough, we have to accumulate the merits and walking the path to free ourselves from sorrow and anxiety, and having a courage to dispel any fear that we have regarding our life, all this in a sickness, and even to the worldly affairs. And patient needed in our life. When we take a Buddha as an example, we simply we're able to walk freely because our actions hasn't been violated, our moral practice been fully purely pure. So with that, what happens that we always remember the 9 qualities of the Buddha and take a Buddha with us, which is another reason why sometimes Buddhists will have a Buddha amulet carrying in their pockets or in their necks, simply to reflect on the Buddha's 9 qualities. And having that as in ourselves, then we feel like protected, as well as we are become more mindful what whatever we do and all the actions that we perform becomes wholesome actions. So as we know that Buddha is such a worthy one and worthy and respect, who has incomparable compassion to all beings. So his devout disciples or Buddhists contemplating his 9 qualities always brings a great benefit to this life and hereafter. So that's why we as a Buddhist regularly do this morning and evening chanting, simply to recollect his virtues and try to embodying his qualities within ourselves, to get away from any kinds of a fear and a danger that we may face, and also bring a fortune in our life, a fortune, good luck, and a peace. And further on, it's a practice to cultivate the insight to understand things the way are. So with this, I encourage you all to continue practicing, and at least once a day or twice, paying homage to the Buddha and taking those reflections and 9 qualities of the Buddha, reflecting on it and try to embodying that, which will bring great happiness and prosperity and secure and safe in our life. So I end here for this today, and may you all be well and happy with this. Let's do the chanting.